My conversation this afternoon is about desire. More specifically, it's about desire and the intersection of danger. The desire and the intersection of danger. Many of you who came to this theater this afternoon came through those intersections of desire and danger. In fact, that intersection is about 5 blocks from this theater. And let me tell you how this intersection works. There's a famous videographer, Steve Sable, who said, give them the facts and they can understand it. Tell them the truth, they have the ability to believe it. Put it in the form of a story, and they may carry that story with them for the rest of their life. And the story is the intersection between danger and desire. 25 years ago, this community, this city of Tacoma, this county of Pierce, was identified as an all-American community. And something happened. Something happened, and it happened very rapidly. Over a period of 18 months, this community changed. And what changed this community was a vicious criminal element. Drugs, gangs, prostitution, violence. And it happened so quickly that law enforcement was immobilized. The business community was in shock. Civic leaders did not know where to turn. And so they pulled a group together and said, we must find an immediate solution to this. And a couple of things happened. There was magic, there was mystery, and a whole lot of need, and some luck. And the luck started with, I had been the state mental health director and had just been fired by the most popular governor in the state of Washington over the last 40 years. And so I was available. And a little more luck was that there was a wonderful person who had grown up in this community, left, gone to Michigan, received a PhD in community education, went to California, and California dreaming for her was not the reality that she wanted, and she had just come back to this community. And this group of people hired us because we had 2 things in common: the desire to make a difference and the ability to marginalize the danger that making that difference brought to our personal lives. They asked us to put together an effort, a group of people, if you will, to deal with this issue of drugs and gangs and violence. And when I talk about drugs and gangs and violence, I'm not talking about teenage hooliganism. I'm talking about organized crime that was as near as Seattle and was as far away as the Mexican cartels. They had come to this community and basically taken it over. And so this group of people said to us, here's what we want you to do. Go out and hire some folks. They didn't give us very much money. And so we hired 12 people. No one made over $25,000 a year. They had no trappings of authority. There were no uniforms and badges and guns and canine and any of those things. And they said, now go out and change these sets of conditions. And we did. We hired those folks because they all had one thing in common. That's what we look for in the hiring process: the desire to make a difference and the ability to marginalize the danger that making that difference made. And we did. During a 4-year period, we closed over 100 drug dealing locations in Tacoma and Pierce County and stopped hundreds of more from ever materializing. We made our schools a safe place for kids to learn and teachers to teach. We created a business community that many of you passed through coming to this theater that was that had been an open air drug mart with Jersey barriers in the street, people doing daylight drug sales, where you came, those intersections that you passed through coming to this theater today, you would not have recognized 25 years ago. Nice, bright, sunshiny day in the Pacific Northwest. Security, safety, businesses could operate, neighborhoods could operate, people could live, work, and play with safety and security in their neighborhoods. But we found that the biggest element in this process was that we were able to organize over 100,000 people 25 years ago, prior to social media, no Facebook, no Twitter, no Instagram. We did it the old-fashioned way. We went block by block, house by house, family by family, neighborhood by neighborhood, and the miracle that we found in this community was that those 100,000 people possessed the same qualities that the first 2 people that they hired, the next 12 people that they hired, and 100,000 people said, we have the desire to make a difference and the ability to marginalize the danger that that difference brings to us. And they did. And we received tremendous recognition. 48 Hours did a documentary. The Kennedy School of Government at Harvard looked at us and identified us as one of the top 20 promising practices in the United States of America. The Rockefeller Foundation, Newsweek magazine, and Reinventing America said, look at Tacoma. This is a community that has a passion. This is a community that has a desire to make a difference. This is a community that looks at its problems and its issues and is able to make the changes that it needs to make. And we had a wonderful time. That time came and it went. I went back to the bureaucracy after about 4 years, did all those things that Aki talked about in my introduction. Other people went to other places. One person remains, the director, Priscilla, is still there. Our folk went back to doing other things. Some of them back to retail, back to selling real estate. Some of them went to jail. But the truth be known that some of our folks were just as edgy as the people we went out to deal with. The only difference was is they had a desire to make a positive and progressive difference, and the folks that we were dealing with haven't. So I say to you, in this community, no matter what our problems, no matter what our issues, we can deal with those issues. We have the desire, we have the ability to change them. So I would just hope that each of you will have the opportunity some point in time in your life to live viscerally, to live at a point where desire and whatever the other intersection is, doesn't have to be danger, that you get to do that. I've done it 3 times in my life, on the streets of Chicago, in the jungles of Vietnam, and on the streets of Tacoma and Pierce County. Give them the facts, and they'll understand it. Tell them the truth, and they can believe it. Give them a story, and we hope that you take this story and the courage that desire brings for the rest of your life. This is my story, as I understand it. This is the intersection between danger and desire. Thank you very much.